Hi guys. So last week I did a video on boundaries and self-respect and looking at how to kind of understand when you're being disrespected. And when I was talking about respect, I realized that there was one important kind of avenue that I didn't include, and I thought that that was a really important one to go over in regards to respect. And everybody knows, the word mattering, right? When we feel that we don't matter or that people are making us feel that way, it can have a huge effect on relationships that we have in our lives, or even, our satisfaction or happiness levels when it comes to work and things like that. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So when we think about the word respect, so I'm looking at how other people treat you or your relationships with other people at this point in time, not self-respect. Okay, so when we look at that, do you guys think that that's like a word that has a self-explanatory meaning? Because when I first heard the word respect, I didn't really know what it looked like in my life or how to use it, I guess. Or even how to get people in my life who did respect me. So I think in the end, what I did learn is that respect is a very personal word for every single person. And what I mean by that is, you ever had one of those arguments and at the peak of the argument, the person says to you, I feel as though you weren't showing me respect. And you're sitting there going, what? You're like saying I'm a bad person, because it's not actually going to kind of bring anything to light, because what's really happening is you're using a blanket term for many other things that are underneath the surface of the word respect. The same goes for mattering. To matter, in life, to matter to yourself, all of those things are very, very personal. And the way that somebody shows you that you matter is completely different to the next person. So I feel like there's this kind of undertone of how we're supposed to kind of explain the word respect. And so I feel like it's not self-explanatory, and people can take offense when you do use the word as well, because they can feel like, you're actually having like this personal attack on them, that they're not a respectful person or a good person, So I learned this strategy when I did NVC, and it went into, because respect is a need, right? And mattering is a need. So it went into all of the different needs that we can kind of analyze. So when you're feeling that somebody is not showing you respect, what are you actually feeling? Anyway, I'm going to grab this little list that I have here. So here is a bunch of things that you can communicate to that other person that you're actually feeling that you're lacking, which doesn't create this kind of barrier for solving anything. It doesn't, because you're actually giving them something to work with. When someone says, I'm not feeling respected, or you're not showing me respect, there's nowhere to go from there. You can't magically show that person the respect that they want, because we got to be clear. So okay, we've got acceptance, belonging, care, communication, mutuality, love, intimacy, consistency. Obviously reliability is a big one with consistency. Humor, relaxation, authenticity, clarity, challenge, creativity, discovery, effectiveness, growth, integration, learning, mattering, mourning, purpose, self-connection, understanding, choice, freedom, independence, initiative, integrity, presence, space, spontaneity, physical safety, psychological and emotional safety, security, stability, support, trust, warmth, enjoyment, stimulation, consideration, companionship, community, closeness, affection, nurturing. Participation is a big one, because sometimes you think, why isn't this person kind of making they're making me feel like they're not showing me respect, and in actual fact you just want them to kind of do that thing with you or help you, or show you some form of support, and so you're like, I feel like you don't respect me. And they're thinking, I don't understand, like, what do you want me to do? And they get all defensive. And what you really want is for them to, show you some consideration, some participation, some support. So I think that that's a really good thing to analyze and go through in your own minds. What does respect look like for you? Go through all the different needs and go through all of the different kind of experiences that you've been through, and have a bit of a reflection and try and understand what you were actually lacking in that moment, why you felt disrespected, why you felt angry, why you felt upset. Was it an insecurity of your own? What was coming up there? Has somebody done that to you before, and you've kind of put two and two together and then made it like a thing that kind of involves them as well. The mattering one. Now, I struggle with this as well. Like, I felt like, if my daughter was misbehaving or whatever, she didn't make me feel like I mattered. I know, how ridiculous is that, right? A 5-year-old didn't make me, as an adult, her mother, feel like I mattered. So I started to kind of say, okay, wow, that's quite unrealistic expectations to start with. And, secondly, I have so many ways that I can get my needs met. I can go out and I can talk to friends or family, or I can get therapy, or I can go on the support groups, I can reach out wherever I like. I can go educate myself or dive into passions. I mean, often people who are feeling like they don't matter are not chasing their dreams, or they're kind of lost for their purpose, in life. What is their purpose? Do they know who they are? I mean, I know when I felt like I didn't matter, I didn't know who I was, and I didn't have really a drive to kind of chase that purpose, or that idea that I could become something or do something, So I think that the word to matter to yourself or others and respect, is totally personal, and it's something that you should dive into and question. Why are you feeling like that? And it is not somebody else's job to make you feel like you matter. But, if you kind of put it down to getting appreciation from them, or support or acceptance, it's not necessarily their job, but if you value them and you want them into your life and you show them the same, well, it would be very healthy and good if they do provide that, in return. And sometimes we need to explain how that looks to us, so acceptance might be, when I say this, it would be really nice if you could give me a hug, instead of just kind of giving me solutions right now. I want a hug. Maybe after we can talk about solutions. People don't know that, and we think somebody knows us well enough, they will know what respect means to us. But sometimes, and often I've found, respect means very, very different things on different days, on, how we're feeling at that moment in time, what's just happened, if anything else is correlating with why we were triggered. So I feel like it's something to dive into, and, if you're feeling like you don't matter, we can totally look at some exercises or some personal assistance that we can dive into personally. If you guys want to message me, and I can talk to you about that, because I feel like, as I said before, it's very personal. So just giving you guys a few options is not necessarily going to help you with whatever you're going through. And, you know, when we're looking for a healthy relationship in our lives, just remember we are not half a circle and they are not half a circle, because then we rely on each other to be whole. So when we rely on someone else to matter or to feel whole, it can often become codependent or toxic. And if that relationship does end, we can kind of feel like we're a bit empty inside, and it can create this, you know, massive downward spiral. And I feel like we all want to really keep moving forward and diving into, you know, the things that bother us and into those triggers, and coming out on the other side feeling inspired, supported, and also self-reliant as well, so that we're not kind of relying on that other person to make us feel like we matter, or, you know, that we're a whole circle. Be a whole circle. Let's do it. Let's do it today. Okay, guys, just wanted to run through that. Have a great week. I will do the other video when I get some time, and talk to you then. Bye.